And here she is, MJ Hansen, the ender of sunshine.
The ender of sunshine.
Yes.
It is sunshiny today.
No.
And the wind isn't
No.
blowing as drastically as it was yesterday.
You're the ender of it.
I'm the ender of the
Because
sunshine.
you're the one that comes in here all taking credit for what happens on Wednesdays with the weather, right?
Oh no, that means that we
And
have
it's
rain in the forecast.
8:57 this morning.
57 exactly.
8:57 this morning.
Okay.
The sun starts going back south, and we start losing our days, our hours of sunshine. So you are here to take it away.
It is.
Because you claim control over the
It
weather.
is summer solstice today, isn't it?
8:57.
At 8:57. It is the longest day of the year. What a blessing, though, really, because it seems like, at least in my yard, all of my flora is about 2 weeks behind. My daylilies usually pop up in early June.
That's because it's the hottest June on record.
I know, right?
No,
No, you're good. And it's really incredible, like, because of the weather and because of all the shifts that we've had in the last 6 months, where all of things have transitioned. We've had a wetter, cooler spring.
Don't tell that to
I know. But even still, you know, we have an abundance of vegetation for producers. We have the moisture and the rainwater that this high desert needs to replenish its aquifers. We're all in abundance today. And the abundance of sunshine is what I am so in love with, because I truly am a lizard, but I love the rain.
Okay.
But speaking of really fun things to celebrate, we're coming up on 4th of July. And we just had the Summer Games opening ceremonies with a bunch of fireworks, right? Now we're getting into the personalized fireworks that we can have and celebrate with.
It's happening, by the way. Greg?
Yes.
So, about a week ago, or maybe the end of last week,
Okay.
we're sitting at home and all of a sudden we go, those are fireworks going off. And they're up on the north side. And I'm going, what's going on there?
Not related to the summer game?
No.
Okay.
They were on the north end of town in Fiddler's Canyon somewhere?
Ish, that area.
Should not be.
That's what I kept thinking, and I
Yes.
go, and they kept going. I go, dude, someone's got a lot of chutzpah.
That's a good response.
Chutzpah.
Chutzpah.
So what, I have Greg Orlowski in here with the Cedar City Fire Department, and just in case people need more information on this, please go to cedarcity.org/fire, and it has all of the information that we're going to be talking about today. I will also upload the attachments to our Facebook Wired Wednesday post of this live video. So the things that we're going to be going over today is making sure that we are fire aware with the fireworks and what
Absolutely.
we're allowed to do, kind of because there's safety and regulation. So, and from the insurance perspective, because I am the local, Farm Bureau Financial Services agent, it's really the liability that you're putting yourself at risk for if you're choosing to discharge fireworks in your street.
In the front of your home. Correct.
In the front of your home. It's really the next door neighbors that you're putting at risk, because all of the different debris can go onto their roofs and go onto this. My father-in-law actually was just saying he's going to have to go talk to his neighbors, because last year they did it twice and the debris were on his roof, and you could see some of the, it's not sparks, but like something that would have.
Basically, if it goes up, it must come down, and then usually it's on fire when it comes down.
Yes.
And if it's going to reach an area that's got maybe some pine straw or something dried out leaves on the roof, that's where you're going to have a fire on top.
Right, and because you chose to disregard the rules and regulations, that the Cedar Fire Department and other fire service members out there have put out, you're really putting yourself at risk for being liable for multiple structures, which, begs the question, do you have enough liability insurance?
Yes.
But that's
a good point.
That's a whole nother.
If you want to take that risk and do it in your neighborhood, in front of your house, you are responsible for the outcomes.
Yes, and so not to get down the insurance hole today, because we really want to talk about what we can do and the benefits of it and the different areas that we've really set aside this year. So on our sales and discharge dates, we can purchase fireworks from the 24th, June 24th, so in 3 days, to July 25th. We can discharge between 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. except for as noted on the statement, but July 2nd through the 5th. So that's 3 days, and again on July 22nd through the 25th.
Right, and then they have those exclusionary notes for the 4th through midnight, 24th through midnight. Oftentimes we get inquiries about that. Why is everybody still lighting them? Well, that's because they go till midnight.
And
Those 2 days.
Well, and I want to bring it back just really quick. We are celebrating the founding of our country, which is a big celebration. It's the land of the free. It's America, people. Let's celebrate.
If we choose to use fireworks to celebrate, then so be it.
Right.
Yeah.
And the 25th is celebrating the state's founding on that specific date. So those are really big things to celebrate because
Correct.
we are blessed to be living here and living in this country and our ability to do that. So let's just do it safely.
So the aforementioned that you indicated as far as the rains and the moisture that we received, everything is a little behind this year. And what you're seeing now is the abundance of grasses and in areas, in rural areas where maybe you haven't seen anything growing in the past, it's overwhelming. So we've seen the fire yesterday now indicates that we're dry enough to have these fires. Combined with the wind is the most dangerous situation for everybody. Firefighters, the people that are around there, if it gets near a structure, all the above.
Well, and that goes back to being fire aware.
Correct.
And if you're truly after those weeds, I encourage a lawnmower or a non-combustible activity to get those weeds.
Absolutely. We've had instances where just even a strike ignition of a rock creating a spark. Right now on the county side, they're mowing the areas along the roads, and that has caused fires in the past.
Oh my goodness.
So, yes.
So let's go into the map of this. So where fireworks are prohibited,
Correct.
where and the county range, they're basically everywhere outside of
Unincorporated Iron County.
Okay.
So basically, incorporated and incorporated Iron County. It's on the map, and then the WUI zone is important to note because we're very close to where we're sitting right now to the WUI zone. So that's the wildland urban interface, where you're basically up against the east bench or somewhere out towards the west, or even in our southern area where we're pushing a lot of development currently. So people don't realize that they could be right in the WUI zone, and that's a prohibited area.
So I'll define it kind of by subdivisions from what I can see on the map.
Yeah.
So anything around or inside of Fiddler's Canyon, the golf course would be included that, all the way to the 9th hole over across to the 200 North ballparks. I'm not sure what their official name is. Anything by West Canyon Park, anything up the canyon from right there, anything down along that canyon trail that we have that follows the east bench across down through the subdivisions and trailheads behind Mobetta's and Slurps Up.
Correct.
You're also in the WUI, everything from Home Depot south and all the way into Westview. That is all WUI projects. And even right here immediately in town, up against the freeway in between the university and Lay Hill. And then you're going back into the WUI over by the Cove subdivision on the west side in between, it looks like Cross Hollow Drive and the Cove is all WUI. So just being aware of those, those are where fireworks are prohibited as well.
Yeah, and if you have any question whatsoever, go onto the Cedar City webpage under Government Maps, the WUI map, and today they're going to upload the locations that are approved within the city. They just added that to this map. They'll be highlighted in green, and then if you've got any questions whatsoever where you live, if you're close to the WUI or in the middle of it, it'll show you where you're at.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Greg.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the 4 Bs.
Absolutely.
What are the 4 Bs of fire safety?
So the Utah State Fire Marshals put out a nice presentation here. The 4 Bs of firework safety. Be prepared. So there's a couple of bulleted items here. Have a water hose or bucket nearby. Preparation is the key. Just make sure that you are prepared for the worst. In one case, it indicates. Be responsible, okay? Don't leave the fireworks out and not soak them in water, things of that nature. Never relight anything. Wait 15 minutes after they've been soaking. Oftentimes in the areas that are approved, and I'll get to those areas shortly, we have fires in the trash cans. People do not come with water and they just put the fireworks in the trash cans. Oftentimes they'll burn up everything that's in the trash can. So oftentimes we'll go soak that down and make sure it doesn't happen. But there's one thing to watch for. Be safe. Adults should be lighting the fireworks. Keep the matches, lighters away from the children. Obviously don't use them indoors, right? Light one at a time, move away, and then keep children or pets away.
Well, hold on. I want to touch on the children and pets part of this. We do fireworks as, a demonstration in celebrating our great nation, right? And we want to include our children in that, but you also need to keep them out of immediate danger because we don't want Instacare visits. We don't want, and this includes your neighbors too. So if they are out and not participating in the fireworks and they are then in medical need because of your fireworks, that is also a liability. Now, in pop quiz, Greg, and you may not know the answer, but how many pets are lost and or run away during a fireworks show?
Quite a few. If you watch the Facebook posts, a lot of people indicate that their pets leave, or get out that time. Even in the house, they're terrified. We get calls at the station. Why are the fireworks still going off? Things of that nature.
Well, and that just goes to show it's not, if I don't have pets at my house, which I do, I have 2 beautiful dogs, but if I don't have pets at my house and I'm lighting fireworks off, but my neighbor does, you may be neighborly and considerate. And who knew we are allowed to talk to people, Greg? We are allowed to be neighborly.
Sometimes that's the key.
Just going and introducing yourself, be like,
say, hey,
look,
we're going to be doing this. We're aware that you have pets. Just letting you know that we're going to be doing it out in front of the house, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, and we're not trying to create a conflict there. We're just trying to create awareness and consideration for those of us that, do have dogs and cats and other animals that may be terrified by this. And children as well, because children may be inclined to walk out of their house, and come and participate when you're not really prepared for that.
By nature, right? They're curious.
Right, right. So, sorry, back to the 4 Bs.
So last B, be aware, use only legal fireworks. Now, and on the site, now that we've got the site up here, we're going to have the list. And basically what I tell the kids that anything with a stick that goes up in the air is illegal. That's one way to indicate. Other ways to indicate it, if you did not purchase it in Utah at a site that sells the fireworks. Our neighboring states, we have a few people that come up and bring their fireworks, and we have to confiscate those if we deem necessary, where they're shooting them off in areas where it's going to cause incidents.
So if someone unnamed allegedly came back on a trip from, say, Wyoming and had bottle rockets with them,
correct,
that would be in this hypothetical discussion, that would be again the law.
Absolutely.
And what is the said fine and/or not ratification?
I think it's
consequence.
A misdemeanor. The first offense, Class B misdemeanor, and don't quote me on that. But if it gets to where it does cause an incident, then you're fully liable for any damages.
Fully liable.
Hypothetically speaking.
He used an insurance word.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Incidents and we've had that. One of our largest fires was on the other side of the golf course on the knoll there, and it nearly burned over onto the other side. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the evenings that we have one of our busiest, some odd 30 calls within just a few hours, just right after fireworks started. And Chief was getting ready to call the mayor and saying, "Hey, get on social media and tell everybody to cool it so we could have a show." We couldn't launch our show because everybody was out
doing their own thing,
doing these instances all over town. So we had trucks everywhere that night till about 1:30.
And it's really incredible. Again, going back to that consideration,
Yes.
being neighborly,
Yeah. Yeah.
acting as a community whole. We all want to
We're
celebrate
asking
together.
for a lot, I believe. Yeah.
Well, in some cases we are, and in other cases we are not. We're trying to bring back the community to being a community and not
Right.
our
Individuals.
individual.
Yep.
So with all the things, because we're going to attach these to the post on Facebook so people can pull them up. And again, please go to cedarcity.org/fire for all of the different things that we're talking about today.
And we'll also be putting a story up. In fact, if you leave me that stuff, Greg, I'll put a story up on this on
Okay.
KSB590.com too.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Nice.
So it is part of a Class C dangerous explosives prohibited for
Yep.
sale or use in Utah. House Bill 22 and the 2011 legislation. So it has been in
if that's
effect
the case,
for
they could
12
change the dinner I
years.
had last night because it was pretty explosive.
The whole thing. But it really goes through each individual type of firework something of what's approved in the state of Utah.
Absolutely. It's very clear there. So if there's any question, just go to that site and take a look
Sky
at it.
rocket, missile type rocket,
Mhm.
single shot or reloadable aerial shell.
Well, now, hang
So-
on a second.
So those are the tube style where you drop the mortar. That's about the size of your apple there. Drop the mortar down into the tube, it shoots off, and then you continue to do that.
Well, then, because I have seen.
Again, if they get caught,
hang on.
purchased and caught, or
Hang on a second.
There are some legal fireworks
There are
that you
some-
buy.
Because they're going to say I've seen fireworks where the sparkly stuff does go into the air.
Correct.
Like you see out of
Yes.
the big show.
Yes.
And some of those are legal then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are, and then you'll see those.
Not-
Those are over in a different section. Aerials, they have to be supervised when they're sold, and when those go off, they go off just the single shot out of that tube. They're not multiple reload type.
Okay.
Yeah. So once that's depleted, it's done. But it will shoot off multiple small mortars.
Right. But those are
And
legal.
they're difficult to differentiate sometimes between the illegal ones.
Okay.
When we come up to the parking lots, for example, which I'll get into real quick before we run out of time. 7 locations: the south parking lot at Cedar High, the Canyon View High School parking lot, Canyon View Middle School parking lot. So we got Lake at the Hills Aquatic Center. There's a specific area in their parking lot. Bicentennial Park, Bicentennial Soccer Field area, and Iron Springs Elementary. So oftentimes when we go to those areas, 2 years ago, Canyon View Middle School, I took a picture of the large pile of fireworks, and within that pile, there was about over 50% that were illegal fireworks.
Hmm.
That were brought
I'm
in.
kind of not surprised.
Right.
well, and I'm not saying now. I will completely admit that there has been a time in
Times
my
where
life.
you've been in presence of
Wait.
illegal fireworks? Is
There's-
that what you're getting ready to say?
This is another alleged hypothetical
Alleged
case. Yes.
hypothetical, and I think that the whatever statute of limitations has expired on this. But and granted, I have been between Utah and Nevada a lot of my life. And so there are a very drastic difference in available fireworks.
Are you saying like Mesquite, for example, or Moapa, maybe?
No, I spent a few years over in the county, in Lincoln County.
Oh, okay.
And so there's just a variety of available things. So with all of that, there is some, I used to have this when I was a kid. Well, and I can
Yes.
have it as an adult now, but the laws have changed. The different things have changed and keeping up to date. And that's part of, why Wired Wednesday does this, is because we're trying to keep the public informed of things that have changed and things that have,
very quickly, because we're getting close-ish. We can actually go a minute or two longer since we don't have another thing that we used to do. So if I'm outside on my front lawn with sparklers, am I breaking the law?
In that case, the law states that you may launch those in your front yard, your basic street, right out in front of your house. No, it's recommended that you go to one of these other 7 locations.
Okay, and I don't have a problem with that either.
Right.
It's just that you know, if the grandkids up, they want to go
Yeah,
out and
sparklers.
light up a sparkler or
Sure.
something, I'm
Sure.
so that's okay still.
Correct.
Okay.
With that, Greg, in our last really 30 seconds, where do you want to make sure people know?
The locations for sure. They also, it's very important to note that we have one of the biggest shows right here in southern Utah that we have, actually now we sponsor because we've just run out of time to put everything together and go out and do the fire suppression activities as well. So we have that now. The council in the past years and the city has approved the operation and the lighting and launching of the fireworks by a subcontractor. So that's a nice activity. So by all means, go enjoy our show at 10 o'clock on the 4th at the airport.
Tuesday the 4th.
Tuesday the 4th.
Tuesday the 4th. And don't forget to catch the Lion Club's parade down Main Street that starts, I believe, at 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have vendors in the park from about 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us for Wired Wednesday. This has been your host, McKinnon Hansen, 435-592-2021.
And one last time.